Hello, my name is Brad Beard, owner and winemaker for Mercury Wine, and round two today. So we just finished with our shrimp and mango salsa, and now we're going to be doing our very own Geyserville's best, Catelli's Meatballs. So Catelli is one of our absolutely fantastic restaurants in downtown Geyserville, just a few doors down from me, and it's going to go absolutely fantastic with my red wines. Today I'm actually going to be drinking a pre-release of my 2017 Zinfandel. It's tasting fantastic right now. Let's go ahead and get things going here. We're going to get started with one beaten egg. So go ahead and grab an egg, get it all smashed up there. There, we'll throw it down the ground. Don't have anything there. So whip up a nice little egg. You want to get it beaten pretty good. Excellent. Throw it in there for right now. And we'll get this there. Now, one thing that every cooking video I've ever seen, when you're making meatballs, you don't want to overwork the meat. So we'll be going with that. So now we're going to do 1 pound of regular ground hamburger. I'm doing a 20% lean here, and then we're going to do 1 pound of Italian sausage. So we're going to start out with the hamburger and get that thrown in. Oops, I wasn't supposed to be touching that. Good Lord, I don't even know what I'm doing here. I'm supposed to be using my gloves. All right, there we go. We'll get the gloves on now before we start mixing this up. And what you want to do is you want to give it a nice thorough mixing, but again, trying not to overwork it to get the meats combined first, so that when you're adding in all your spices get mixed nicely as well. Fantastic. All right, so we're just going to kind of put these two guys together there, mixing it in with the egg, getting that incorporated. Holy eggshells, Batman. There we go. So we're going to get it quickly incorporated. That's looking good. And then this is why I was using gloves, because I don't need to touch all these other things here in a minute. All right, so that's looking pretty good. I don't think that was too much. Let's get everything back in the mix here. All right, so our next ingredient is super important. It's our ricotta cheese. It's 1.5 cups. Excellent. We've got, what do we have? We have 1 cup of panko. Now, Domenica's recipe calls for Japanese style. I didn't have it on hand, so I went with a Italian Progresso panko. I'm thinking everything's going to be okay. Go ahead and pour that in. We're going to go with a 1/2 cup of onion, not specified white or yellow. Then we're going to go, oh my gosh, what is this? We're going to go with a 1/2 cup of grated Parmesan cheese. Domenica calls for a 1/4 cup of chopped garlic. I went with like 7 or 8 cloves, and it seemed pretty close to me, so we'll get that in there. They were a little chunky, so we gotta make sure they're okay. The next one is going to be our thyme, and real quick with the thyme, a little trick with these guys. So we're actually going to go with 2 tablespoons of thyme, but you don't want those little stems in there, because that's going to be super annoying. They're not going to break down. So we'll put the thyme in, and then I actually ended up going with a lemon thyme for the first time ever, but again, that's what I had on hand. But one cute little trick: hold these guys by the end, and then just kind of rub down 2 or 3 times, and pretty soon you're going to get all those little leaves off the stems. So repeat that process, and of course your little leaves up front, it's not much of a stem there, you can't leave that out, so we'll put that in there. And then we're going to go with 1 tablespoon of parsley. This looks like a tablespoon. We're reserving the rest of that parsley for the tomato sauce that's going to be going on top. So that looks pretty good. And then just as one added extra addition, since I don't make them as good as Domenica does, it didn't seem like it had enough Italian goodiness in there. I do a little bit of the general Italian seasoning, and we'll go ahead and go with a, probably a tablespoon. Oh, that looks like a tablespoon. Excellent. All right, we're gonna hang on there. I'm gonna get a new set of gloves on so I can get this all mixed up. Okay, we're back and begloved again. So we've got this nice looking mix here, got our ricotta cheese, all these fantastic things. So let's go ahead and see if we can get this incorporated. Domenica, if you're watching, you can go ahead and text in with some of your some of your tips and tricks on how you get this stuff nicely mixed together. But right now it's kind of looking pretty good. All right, again, we don't want to overwork it, but we definitely want to have everything mixed together, right? So you really, gosh, it's really a lot about trial and error here. Looking pretty good. So just like if you were stirring, you kind of pull from the bottom, press into the top, kind of push it apart again, and then swing it back around. Making a nice little ball there. Oh, that's looking really good. See how that's really getting incorporated? I think that we're doing pretty good, but it's not getting too mushy, and that's what they're talking about. You got to leave some of those little chunks in there so that it doesn't end up being overworked. I think we're pretty much ready to go. So what I'm going to do is, while I've still got these, well, I've got my gloves on, we're just going to go ahead and make a few of these meatballs and get them into our into our pan. Cast iron dish is probably one of your best, just for presentation, and it's going to be really nice and easy to go. Oh, that's probably around the right size. Take a little bit more off that guy. And then if I was smart, I would have a little bit of water, because wet hands mean smooth balls. Okay, I've rolled out a few of the meatballs. I've got my cast iron skillet getting smoking hot. You can kind of see that coming along in there. We've got a little bit of olive oil in there as well. And according to Domenica's recipe and myself, what we're gonna do is saute these and then try to turn them over and get them browned on all sides. It's gonna take about 10 or 15 minutes. And then I'll start talking to you about the tomato sauce that's gonna go over the top. We are gonna do one little thing different today, is that typically, oh yeah, you can hear that going. Typically, you're gonna do them for 10 or 15 minutes in the cast iron skillet, and then you're gonna toss them into an oven at 450 degrees for another 10 minutes or so. But I don't have an oven out here in our pasture, so we're gonna try to do them all in the skillet for you today. It's okay if you crowd the pan, they're not gonna release too much juice. You don't want to be skimpy, of course. Oh, I think I've got just enough. Look at that. There we go. All right, I can finally get rid of these guys. Perfect. And while these guys are browning, I'm going to go ahead and get my tomato sauce going. So what we're going to do with the tomato sauce is we're going to do a semi-homemade. This is a little take off of Domenica's sauce, but it's a little less time consuming. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with 2 cans. This is the S&W ready cut, diced with garlic, onion, and basil. So they already got things going for us, which is super awesome. And for saving time, I've already got everything sort of mixed together. But then what you want to do is take a clove or 2 of garlic, get it all diced up, get a little more olive oil in your pan, saute that garlic for 2 or 3 minutes. You never want to burn it, just kind of get it a little bit brown, and then add in those cans of chunky tomatoes. And so I've already got those going here. So we'll go ahead and get those all together. I already sauteed my garlic in there. And then what you want to do is add a little salt and pepper, of course, as well to taste. Oh, those things are smelling really nice. See if I can find a spoon here. There we go. I think I'm going to turn this down just a little bit. There we go. Oh, yes, I need to turn it down a little bit. All right, Brad, stop talking and start cooking. Here we go. All right, so no harm, no foul. Those are a little brown on that side. Maybe when we plate them, we're gonna turn them over so people, oh, there's some that aren't quite so burned. There we go. We'll save the burned ones for the cooks. Get that off the heat a little bit there. Whoa. Okay, they're not supposed to be that brown. I have a feeling they're gonna taste just fine then. Domenica would be very disappointed in me. All right, there we go. But I was talking and walking and didn't know what I was up to there. And there it is. Need to get this guy going. There we go. Get that turned down. All right, so we pretended that we already sauteed our garlic. We got some olive oil in there. We've got our cans going. So these are pretty chunky tomatoes, and we're gonna let those simmer down for about 15, 20 minutes. We're also gonna add a little bit more of that Italian seasoning, and we're gonna add a couple tablespoons of Parmesan, and we're also gonna add a 1/4 cup of parsley for this. So we're gonna get that going, looking good. And it's a little chunky for me personally, but as it stews down, it's gonna get smaller. And then right before we're ready to go, I'm gonna mash it with a tomato masher to kind of get the consistency that I want. Okay, we're still crisping things up. They're looking pretty good. We've got a few more minutes to get them completely crisped. Okay, so our sauce is getting pretty close, ready to go. You know, it's thickening up quite nicely. You can kind of see it there, but we still have some pretty big chunks. So I'm gonna wanna mash this down a little bit. You could use one of your stick blenders or something like that, but you know, we don't have power out here. So we're just gonna go ahead and mash these guys up a little bit, grind them down. And as we're doing that, you know, I still wanna leave some chunks because that'll be kind of nice to look like a nice presentation. So I'm gonna do this for the next few minutes, kind of, you know, bringing it down to where it's a little bit more of a puree here. So we're gonna keep doing that. And in a couple of seconds, we'll get these meatballs that are almost done back on here. And then we're gonna have this thing ready to go. Okay, we've got our sauce thinned down a little bit. We've got our meatballs browned on all sides. Now this is the point where if you were at home, you'd be tossing these things in the oven for the next 10 to 15 minutes on 450, but we're out in the wilderness. We're gonna finish the whole thing here on the stovetop. So we're gonna go ahead and get our, this out of the way. One last little look as it before it gets in. So now we're about probably a third whole tomato, you know, or big chunks of the tomato. And we're gonna go ahead and pour that over the top. Okay, when you've got a nice coverage, kind of like that, this is when, if you want to go ahead and toss it in the oven, you'll do it. But we're going to go ahead and let this finish up here on the stovetop. So we're going to go ahead and cook it for another 5 to 10 minutes. Let those tomatoes reduce down, kind of get caramelized on. We're going to cover it for a few minutes, and then we're going to get it going. All right, thanks. Okay, now we're about 5 minutes in on my little, how I'm trying to bake these guys off. I didn't bring a lid with me, so we're using another saucepan to cover it up. It's looking pretty good. One of the most important parts about cooking as you're trying to work your way through it, make sure you stay hydrated, and especially be staying hydrated with Mercury Wine. Because if things don't go right, it's all gonna be okay. Oh my God, this Zinfandel is tasting fantastic. So Sonoma County's in. It's only about 25% Dry Creek, 75% Russian River. Let's take a look and see how the meatballs are coming along. Oh, look at that. We've got a beautiful little boil around the side. The tomatoes are, and the tomato sauce is, you know, now intermingling with the meatball. I think we got another 5 or 6 minutes to go here. We'll put it back down. We'll see you in 5. Okay, here we go. We've got a nice boil on top. Everything's looking pretty good. This is the first time for me doing it this way, but I've already taken a sneak taste. It's tasting absolutely fantastic. Let me see if I can get this bad boy transferred over so I don't burn myself here. Excellent. Probably should turn this off so we don't catch this. There we go. All right, so this is looking absolutely fantastic. And just one little word to the wise. When you're using a cast iron skillet that's coming out of the oven or that you've been using on the stove, you always want to leave it covered. Number one rule of cooking, if you're cooking with steel like this that doesn't have a tempered handle that you can actually grab onto, always leave a cover on there so you don't end up with those third-degree burns. Don't know where I learned that from. Oh, that's right, from doing that. So now what I'm doing is I'm going to go ahead and make these things look fantastic as if they already don't. We're gonna swish them around in the sauce a little bit. Make sure that we have a little bit of tomato on top. Fantastic. A little bit of decoration is always nice, so we're going to take a little bit of that reserved parsley that we have, do a little sprinkle over the top, looking good. I do really get out of there, you dumb bug. Oh my God, what the heck was that? Outdoor cooking. All right, here we go. A little bit more parsley over the top, looking fantastic there. Take a little bit of your grated Parmesan cheese, put that over the top as well. Freddie, are you getting close in? Are you gonna have a snack with Dad? He says, I think Freddie knows that things are ready to go. So now, when I was taking a taste just a minute ago, I realized that I made my meatballs way too big. So if you're gonna use them as just like a little mini appetizer, I would make them about half the size as I did. And so this is just gonna go ahead and melt in, but still look very nice. There we go. See, how am I going to eat one? Normally I'd like them a little bit smaller so I could just pluck it with a pick and pick it up and eat it. I'm also, so that I don't burn myself on camera, I'm going to sit here and have a glass of my Zinfandel really quick, because I know these guys are still piping hot even though they didn't come out of the oven off the stove. Oh, again, just a wonderful rich flavor. All right, I'm going in for a snack. Let's see if I can do this without hurting myself too bad. All right. I'm gonna pull. Oh, this one looks pretty nice. There we go. So see, really nice presentation. You can see that you got them all crisped up on the side there. And since it's too big for one bite, I'm just gonna take a little slice off the top. Oh man, they are super tender inside. Let's make sure that I didn't overwork the meat. Wow. Obviously not as good as Domenica's. No one does it as good as Catelli's. Yes, by the way, the Catelli's are open right now for business, for pickup and takeout only. And if you give the Catelli's a call, you can order her meatballs, which are probably a lot better than mine. But well, let's see. Double check. All right, I'm gonna say hers are better than mine, just because of the ambiance and the atmosphere, and that she hand makes all those fantastic things, and Jesse the bartender's taking care of you. Oh, there's just a wonderful richness and character, and this is not overworked. This is absolutely fantastic. So just be really careful of that, and you're gonna have a super tender meatball. Oh, now let's see if it goes with the Zinfandel. Oh, nice bit of parsley, some toasty or crispy bits there. Oh, fantastic. Anyway, this has been a fantastic day here in Geyserville. I don't know if it can get any better than this. Beautiful, sunny spring day. Great, great Geyserville wine. Great Geyserville recipes. Can't wait to see you soon. Thanks.